Hi, my name is Claire.
And my name is Serene.
And today we're going to cover a short topic on Dunearn House. So this is going to be launching in July 2026. And we want to understand if this is really highly anticipated in 2026. We're going to cover things like why would people buy and why would people not buy. At this point of time, the floor plans are not out yet, but we do have a range of sizes, so we'll cover a little bit on that. We will also deep dive a little bit on the common objections and all that. So let's jump straight into the agenda. We'll cover some facts of the project. We'll go down in terms of price point, in terms of layout and overall location. What would people be looking out for coming into Dunearn House this year?
Dunearn House is located in District 11 within the core central region, and they're put together by three renowned developers, the Frasers, CSC Land, as well as Sikisui House. You might be familiar with some of the projects they have done recently, the Robertson Opus, RE. We're sitting on a site area of about 145,000 square feet. And we're looking at a plot ratio of 2.4, which means we can build up to 19 stories. And that essentially would mean that we are going to be one of the tallest buildings in that area.
And you got landed views.
Yes, exactly. So the views are beautiful. Now, essentially, we have 5 blocks, 2 blocks of 19 stories, 3 blocks of 10 stories. So we have full condo facilities as well, tennis courts, swimming pool, and there are a total of 380 units comprising of 2 bedrooms up to 4 bedrooms plus study. So really a sweet spot, especially for upgraders. This is 99 years commencing 30th of September 2025, and the unit types are really designed for own stayers as well as investors. Of course, we have renowned architect like Ong Ong, landscape architect Ecoplan, as well as China Construction as our builder. Developer has also shared with us that the unit mix is designed to be efficient, and as mentioned, we'll be looking at 2 bedrooms all the way up to 4 bedroom plus study.
So for 2 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms plus study, I think looking at the sizes, we might be catering for maybe 60% investors coming in, because this is actually really near downtown line where you can get to Telok Ayer and downtown in 15 minutes. Whether it's for own stay or investors, I think this might be quite a good attractive point. And then for 3 bedrooms, of course, right now we're looking at the range of sizes of 900 square feet to 1,000, which will be actually still quite livable in today's standards when we talk about new projects today. And of course, the 4 bedrooms, actually quite a lot of units, 108 of them, because I think developer also understands that demand has shifted a lot to the bigger bedrooms, so they want to cater a little bit more. And of course, looking at that, we should be catering for more own stay buyers in the 4 bedrooms.
In fact, we heard from developer that 60% of the units are going to be priced below 3 million. It's really a sweet spot for upgraders.
So if you're not familiar with the location, we're situated in between King Albert Park and 6th Avenue MRT. And of course, I think in terms of connectivity, I've heard that actually Downtown Line has been one of the better connected ones, because there are more connecting lines across the whole line. For example, if you talk about Thomson East Coast Line, actually from Bayshore to Shenton Way, actually not much places you can exchange. You need to go all the way to Outram Park. Downtown Line, I think it's one of the good lines where you can connect. And of course, we are sitting in the Bukit Timah address.
And on top of that, we're only 4 minutes walking distance to the 6th Avenue MRT station, which is the downtown line. And in fact, there's going to be an upcoming line around about 2032. That's going to be the Cross Island line. We're looking at just estimated about 7 minutes. Very convenient. Dunearn House sits right in the Turf City transformation, and government is really putting a lot of plans in this area. Looking at this slide itself, they are looking to plan about 15,000 to 20,000 public as well as private homes to really meet the different aspirations. And on top of that, Turf City being a heritage and popular destination, we're going to conserve 22 of the heritage buildings in this area.
Actually, out of the 15 to 20k, we don't know how much is private and how much is public at this point in time. I think normally when URA comes up with a plan like that and they cater for X number of households to want to stay in the area, there should be a good mix between the two. So in terms of one, BTO supply, having potential people wanting to live in the area, you can cater for that as well. But for private, we also have a good mix of them. In terms of price preservation, you might be able to get a good hold on it because you are the first plot coming in the Turf City.
And we hear that we're going to design a 10-minute neighbourhood. So we're going to be surrounded with amenities like schools, eateries, and of course parks as well. For lush greenery lovers, you'll be pleased to know we are within walking distance to Botanic Gardens. They're also going to build a linear park from Dunearn House all the way to Botanic Gardens. So I think this is really perfect in terms of whether we're looking for own stay, looking to rent out to investors who are looking for convenience.
So moving on, I think the main thing that we want to cover is two things. One, why would people buy into this development? And two, why would people not buy into this development? Because we want to cover both sides and understand both sides of the coin and see what might really work for you today if you are looking at Dunearn House. So why would people buy, Serene?
Dunearn House is the first harmonised residential plot in the Turf City transformation. Being harmonised, we're almost certain that it will be efficiently designed. This is essentially a pent-up demand for Bukit Timah area. Why do we say that? We heard that the last new launch was at least about 7 to 8 years ago. So we believe that there's going to be really a lot of demand and eyeballs in this upcoming pre-scene. On top of that, Bukit Timah area has always been known as a prestigious as well as established area, especially we're surrounded by many good schools, primary schools, all the way to your JC. Literally, you can live here and then be sure that it's going to take you through your childhood years. And on top of that, as mentioned, we're working with solid developers who have built really good projects and they have all been sold out. And on top of that, we also have a strong price support here. I understand that for projects, usually when it's about to launch, we don't really have a good indication on the price yet. But for now, what we know is that the second plot in fact has been bidded way higher than Dunearn House, and that really gives us a strong leverage over here. So just to cover some of these areas, so when we look at Dunearn House, this plot was bidded in June 2025. There are a total of 9 bids. It goes to show that this is a highly sought after land, and in fact we hear that the difference between the first bidder and the second bidder was a mere 3.7%. And the next plot, which is the second plot that I was mentioning earlier, this was bidded by Wing Thai. They bidded the land at 1625 PSF PPR, which essentially means that it's 15% higher than what Dunearn House was bidded at. We are in a really good first movers advantage.
The question I want to ask here, just between the two land plots side by side, Dunearn House was sold at 1410 per square foot, and the second Dunearn GRS plot was sold 15% more or $200 PSF more. So the question is, coming to Dunearn House, I'm a developer today, but I know that there's going to be upcoming supply of units. Can I capture as much of the market as possible in terms of buyers coming in to buy? And will I price it more competitively in that case because I know competition is coming? And the second point is, the second developer that has bidded Wing Thai and Metro, for them to be able to enter and bid at 15% higher, how much am I going to sell in the future? The rational answer is that I need to be able to cover my costs. I will definitely be pricing it more expensive. So in these two angles, actually who will benefit? Actually the buyers will benefit the most because Fraser's, CSC and Sikisui House may be a little bit more concerned. Can I capture as much buyers as possible before the new plot launches? Can I just price it at a more competitive price so that I capture as much of the buyer pool as possible? Having this GLS coming at this point of time is very timely. My sense is that the government is trying to also send a signal to this Dunearn House developer, I'm going to pump in more supply into the market. So the way to go is definitely not to inflate the prices. So there might be an opportunity here. We don't know the prices yet. We do have an indicative. I think the overall sense is that we want to come in and try to benefit as much as possible as a buyer yourself.
And looking at this chart, it really shows you that the future plots, for example, the Holland Link is coming up. It was bidded at 1432 PSF PPR, which is 1.6% more. And of course, when we look at Dover as well, Dover has bidded at 1556 PSF PPR. And on top of that, our Bukit Timah, which is Newton, was bidded at 1820 PSF PPR. So you can imagine how much these projects are going to be launched in the future, and that really creates the kind of motivation for our buyers to really enter early and take advantage of this price.
So we mentioned just now, for this particular bidder for Dunearn House is at 1410 PSF PPR. Because of the confidence that developers have to be able to sell the units over here, there's actually 9 bidders in total. So it's highly contested, but in the end, a joint venture of Fraser's, Sikisui and CSC won the bid. I think where we're standing from here is understanding that developers are quite confident in this area. And if they're confident enough to be able to capture buyers, then I think where we want to come in is really entering at the right price point.
That's right. So again, if you look at this coming land prices, it essentially shows you the kind of trajectory on the future land plots. So Dunearn House is essentially here, and this is really where it's heading towards.
Then the next angle would be, why would people not buy Dunearn House? I think we've covered a little bit more on the price support. The truth is that land bid prices are not going any lower. In fact, it's going higher year on year. And because of the construction costs, developer costs, marketing costs that developer has to pump in terms of the profit margin, to be able to achieve the same profit margin, they'll need to price at a certain price range. But within all the condos in 2026 that you're potentially looking at, why should Dunearn House be one of your choices, or why should it not be one of your choices? I think we want to cover both sides of the coin so that you get a good understanding. So why would people not buy, right? I think we want to cover the parts that are not so attractive, but yet is it going to be something that you still want to consider after watching this video? So one, new condos in this area did not see significant growth. So if you look at the graph over here, we're comparing 4th Avenue, Mayfair Modern and also Mayfair Garden. So they're relatively newer projects that launched in 2019, TOP around 2021 to 2023 if I'm not wrong. But in terms of the growth, looking at the PSF, it's around 3 to 10% over the course of over 6 years. So we know that since the COVID period until now, the price growth has gone up about 20-30% on average for other regions. But why is this the case where the new condos do not benefit that much? I think there are a couple of factors to this. One is that the supply of the 2-bedrooms are a lot in these areas. So you're really purely looking at rental demand. So I think for the 2-bedrooms, generally speaking, if you're looking to enter into Dunearn House, then you'll be looking at the yield that you can potentially get, which can be quite promising because you're along the downtown line, which has good connectivity to other places. Considering that Dunearn House also has a huge bulk of 4-bedroom and 4+ study, we also acknowledge that actually for the demand coming to Bukit Timah, for more family profiles wanting to enter into the schools nearby, the 4 bedrooms will be definitely more attractive. So there is a chance that the PSF for the 4 bedrooms might be slightly higher than the 2 bedrooms per se, but there are different profiles of people that you're looking at. For this particular area, you're looking at primarily the smaller units that may not make the most profit, but their rental yield is actually quite strong.
And on top of that, just to add on, for Dunearn House, unit sizes start from 2 bedrooms. And we're looking at 4th Avenue, they have 1 bedrooms.
Yeah.
So typically that sets the precedence in terms of the pricing. So they are priced slightly on the higher side, so which makes it have an impact in terms of the profits that they're making.
When we talk about general price support in this particular area, we also want to understand what's the commanding and transacted prices that are outside the region, so that we have a good sense of the price that you're entering into, is it worthwhile as compared to the surrounding. Of course, when we talk about 2019 versus 2026, a lot of things have changed and a lot of things are still changing in the property market today. Just the past couple of months, we see that for primary residences at Tampines, they've already hit 2716 per square foot. We are comparing CCR and OCR at a little bit more premium for Dunearn House than this. And then of course, if you talk about even more price support, Vela Bay at Bayshore has already hit 3003 per square foot. So that's quite crazy for a D16, 10 overstops to Orchard within the OCR region. It's really quite outskirts. For a buyer to be able to pay this, for them to want to exit, they need to exit at 3005 at least to be able to make a decent profit. But here you're coming in maybe 3001 at Dunearn House. It has a very good buffer from the OCR region. The second point would be this spot may not fall within 1 km of MGS and RGPS. So these are the two quite popular schools. But right now we're not too sure yet. I think we'll know come June, July. Based on this particular address, is it going to fall within 1 km?
I think in this aspect, although we are surrounded by a lot of prestigious schools, top schools, and whether or not it's within 1 kilometer, for the parents, they just want to buy into the convenience. And on top of that, we also hear that a lot of them, they are old girls or old boys, and on top of that, they do parent volunteer work. So I think that might not have a great impact in terms of whether it's 1 kilometer or not.
Okay. Then the third point would be this Turf City area. Right now we are looking at a bit of an unknown township. We don't know what's going to happen. There are plans that URA has already set and already promised to build, but it will all take some time. The Turf City, I think a couple of things that we want to also look at is overall HDB supply, because the overall HDB supply will definitely be your BTO upgraders that will want to buy into your unit and essentially be paying for your profits. Right now, we don't see any BTO supply in that area. So your BTO upgraders are really not really in Bukit Timah. The people coming in is really for the school. They have already families staying in the area. So coming in with maybe just 10,000 HDB supply, that might really move the needle for looking at profits already. So that's one point. And then two is the time frame. I feel the time frame here, we should be looking at a little bit of a longer time horizon. Anyway, if your kids are already moving there, they can essentially be there for primary all the way to tertiary education. So looking at it from a time frame point of view, it might be more helpful to be able to look at it from a longer time horizon, because once everything builds up, the connectivity is there, people see the convenience, this will be one of the first few plots that they look at anyway. in terms of looking at future resale perception, it might even help you to drive your prices upwards.
That's right.
We've come to the end of the video. I think we've covered quite a good view of the facts and location, what you should be expecting in terms of bedroom types, and why would people really look at this location, and why would people not potentially look at this location, and what are the potential outcomes that you might be able to expect, and also some pitfalls. But of course, in the next couple of weeks, we should be able to get more information. So if you're curious to find out more about Dunearn House, or if you'd like to see the show flat, you can just contact us directly, either me or Serene. So you can also scan the QR code to WhatsApp us directly. So attach our social media platforms for you to explore if you like to do. We hope this is insightful, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.